Hello again, this is Jacqueline, and I am currently doing my internship at Allant, which is a skilled nursing facility. This week I just want to talk about safety within my internship. So this week we had a son of one of our patients who continued to call. What I learned about this family is that the son is addicted to drugs and will use his mom, will use his mom to get money from so he can go purchase drugs. He had continued to be calling his mother. His mother had kept telling nursing staff that she did not want to speak with him. He continued to call. He was extremely rude and disrespectful to the nurses on the floor. He was then calling the social service department. I had gotten a hold of him once. He was very upset, saying that we were keeping his mother from him. I tried to keep the conversation very short, kept saying, well, at this time, she's busy, she's doing something. I will have her give you a call back later, trying to not upset him. Throughout the day, he then started to threaten, saying that he was going to come here and, hurt everybody, because we were keeping his mother from him. And my biggest fear is, what do we do if he walks in the door? At Allant, there is no security. So there is no security guards. It's not locked down. You don't have to be buzzed to come in. So he could literally walk through the front door, walk onto the mom's unit, and potentially put other residents and nurses in harm. So that was pretty scary to me, because in my previous employment, everything was locked. So we could lock the front door to the building, we could go into offices, we could lock certain places of the building to make sure that we were secure and not to be harmed. So what I learned is the protocol typically is they will call some of the men throughout the building, some of the maintenance guys, some of the different men that work on the floors if needed, for backup while we do call the police. To me, that definitely is a little bit scary, because there are only 2 locked places within the unit if you don't have the codes, and that is the dementia unit, which is a secure unit, so he would not be able to get into there unless he figured out the passcode, and the stairwell. Other than that, there are no safety measures to protect us. So that is pretty scary to me when it comes to safety, because obviously if he walked in with a gun and started shooting, it's going to take time for police to get there. There's nothing that nobody's going to be able to do, no matter how big you are. So that was pretty scary. The other part of safety is, obviously we do have a secure dementia unit, as I mentioned before, and that is to protect those residents from wandering or exit seeking. That makes a very big difference, but at the same time, when we're going into that unit, we have to make sure, number one, that we're waiting by the door to make sure that the door fully locks and closes, just because we do have residents that stand there trying to get out. Some residents will stand there and they don't realize they will never walk through, but we do have other residents that can push you out of the way. So we definitely have to be careful with that. Obviously, we do have alarms on all of the outside doors except the main entrance. This way, any of our patients who go, a security alarm will go off. Some of our patients have what's called a wander guard, which is on their wrist. So if they leave that unit or some of the other units, it will go off. We kind of have to code. We will have to code them in. Other than that, for safety, I think that's pretty much it. Is just, like I said before, we don't have security. We don't have a lockdown front desk, which personally I always think is important, because somebody can check in. You're only endangering, obviously, the one person, but you're not endangering the whole building. In my placement, you're endangering everybody. If someone who is upset or disgruntled comes in, there's nothing we can do to protect them or anybody else. Like I said, we can hide in the dementia secured unit, but that is it. Any questions about safety, or does anybody else have any of the same fears that I do that they're, where they're working, it's not, that secure, or had a scary incident like I did this week with one of my patient's sons. I would like to hear everybody's feedback or your experiences if you've had anything similar. Thanks so much.